Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Vevor melting furnace. This is going to be our first free product review, so I'm pretty excited to put this thing to the test. I want to be straight up with you guys, we didn't actually pay for this. Vevor sent us this and we want to try and do a pretty honest review. We've never actually used one of these furnaces before. Not only is this a furnace, it also can be used as a forge. I'm actually looking forward to doing some blacksmithing projects with this as well. So let's see what's in the box. Okay, so this looks like it's packed pretty well. Okay, we've got some instructions. Might read those later, you just never know. Comes with 2 burners and a handle and a flow nozzle. Okay, we've got the lid. Now let's see what else is in here. Okay, this is important, the gas regulator, and look here, we've got a massive crucible, 1 small fire brick and a large one. And let's not forget, we've got these tongs. They'll come in handy when we're setting up the forge. So you can see everything is being pretty well packed, and by the looks of it, nothing's damaged. I did watch another guy's review on this and the fire brick was damaged or broken in half. So I'll leave this one all wrapped up. Then I can make sure it's not going to get broken, and I will use this when we're going to be doing some forging. This is the fire brick that the crucible sits on. So first impressions, for the price, it definitely looks pretty well made. This is obviously all stainless, it's reasonably thick. I have watched another review and they obviously said like if it was thicker this lid probably wouldn't warp. Like for the price you can't really expect them to make these really heavy because obviously the cost of the stainless is going to bring the price up. Yeah, so far I think this looks pretty good. So obviously I've got to try and put this together, so that's the next mission. I guess I've got to read the instructions first. But I probably won't do that. I'm just going to watch the video of the guy putting it together and that'll be easier. Make sure there's no metal bears around the outside of the hole because this is a really tight fit. And as you can see, the top one was super tight. The bottom one slid in easy. Had to bend these pipes out a little. Now the flow nozzle fits perfectly. Easy. I was trying to put the handle on the lid and the holes didn't exactly line up, so I just used the file and opened them up a little bit. The metal's pretty soft, so it was pretty easy to do, and now the handle should fit perfectly. After we've assembled the furnace, we're going to coat the inside with some rigidizer. The best place to get this is anywhere that obviously sells gear for blacksmithing, forge or furnaces. Jump online, check out a few stores and obviously see what the best price is. So what we're going to do is coat these ceramic fibers with some rigidizer, and that's going to make it last a lot longer. So to coat this, I'm just going to put it into a spray bottle and then just spray away. Try to give it an even coat. You shouldn't see any white patches when finished. So because it's got the pigmentation, you can give it a nice even coat. You can see where you've missed spots that you might need to go over. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to wait 24 hours and then I'm going to light this thing up.
24 hours later.
The first tip I've got is I unhook the flow nozzles because it's actually easier to screw it on to your regulator pipe. Now you can connect to the burners, then tighten. So the next thing I'm going to do is just connect it to my gas bottle. So when you're connecting this, you need to have a gas bottle that's got this outside thread, because you can see here that the way it connects in, this bit goes inside there and it uses the thread on the outside to screw in. So this is an older gas bottle and you can see it hasn't got the thread on the outside, so you're going to need to get a gas bottle with the thread that's actually on the outside. Screw it on nice and tight. So next, let's talk about safety. I'm going to use some eyewear. I've got long pants and I'm wearing steel cap boots. I recommend gloves like these because they're easy to get off, because sometimes these gloves get very hot. You don't want to get burnt. You need these to come off real quick. Just like that. So the next thing we need to do is we actually need to make a pair of tongs. So we need something that's going to cradle the crucible so we can lift it in and out, because this thing is going to be very hot. So I got my friend to make these up. These are pretty cool. He was in a bit of a hurry. Normally he'd do an awesome job, but he was pushed for time. But what he used here was a set of pliers attached to some round tube, and then he cut off some steel pipe here, and then we just curved up some bar here, welded it on. So they actually supply these tongs, but these are actually for like forging, so you actually hold the metal in, you forge and you pull it in and out. But if you try and grab it like this, it's probably going to break the edge, and you've got molten metal in there, and I think it's pretty dangerous. Also, that these aren't long enough. You can see here, there's a lot of length in this, and we're going to make sure that we're not going to get burnt by anything. Okay, so this is a pretty simple setup here. Just a bit of steel that was already curved up, 2 halves. You can see here, just screwed it into a little bit of square pipe, and there's a little screw at the end here, and it fitted perfect. Going to cradle the crucible nicely, and we're going to pour it into the ingot like this. Let's see if we can melt this aluminium. Next we want to cut up a sheet of cardboard, and we're going to lay that on top of the fire brick. Now we'll drop in the crucible. Going to stick in a little bit of newspaper. Want to be as careful as when we're lighting this thing. So I'm going to set it to 10 psi. Okay, so let's turn this thing on. Okay, so we're going to open up one valve first. Then you can open up the second valve. Let's time this and see how long it takes. So this aluminium is melting pretty quick. It's only taken probably about 4 minutes, I think, and it's already starting to melt. So I reckon it's probably going to take about 6 minutes for it to be fully molten. I've got it on the timer, so we'll see what happens. Be careful, this thing's very hot. Bubbles down. Okay, so we've got a nice shiny bar of aluminium. Damn, that's hot. Next, I'm going to try a few sheets of brass. This is the first time I've done this, so I didn't know what to expect, but man, this is really hot, so you've got to be really careful. If you've never done something like this before, watch a few guys' videos so you're pretty confident that you can do it. So one thing I noticed, my little fire brick, it's broken. The corner broke off, but this thing's still usable. The other thing is that this lid, I was expecting it to bulge out a little bit because I watched another guy's video and I had this thing pretty hot. I wound up the gas quite a bit. It looks in pretty good nick. It's slightly curved. Everything looks in pretty good nick. It did what it's meant to do. It took about 12 to 14 minutes to obviously melt down the brass. And here's how it came out.
2 hours later.
So this is what was left at the bottom of the crucible. So what do I think of this melting furnace? Well, there's definitely a bonus, as it's 2 things. It's obviously a melting furnace where you can obviously melt metals, brass, bronze, aluminium, but not only that, is you can use it as a forge. So you just tip it up on its side and then you've got a forge. I'll be using it more as a forge. I'm going to be doing more videos on that later on. I've actually got a forge I made myself using about 10 fire bricks. I had to buy the burner that's set up on the side here, and I was looking at about $11 per brick, so there's already $100 there. Also those burners are about $180 to $200, maybe $250 depending on where you get them from, so that cost me I think $180, and that was quite a few years ago. And I obviously bought all the steel and nuts and stuff like that I used in this, so there's another cost. So already it's probably way over $300 to make my own forge, where if you buy this melting furnace, you've obviously got a melting furnace, forge, you've got tongs that they supply in there, you've got a crucible, you've got 2 fire bricks, you've got 2 burners, and there's obviously a regulator so you can control obviously the flow gas that's going in there. So the only thing you have to do is make your own tongs, because the ones that they've got are more for forging tongs and not really for pulling out the furnace. We've got more videos coming where we're going to be using the forge side of things, and they're going to be later down the track, so watch out for those videos. And let us know if you like this type of content, and subscribe to the channel. That'd be awesome. We really want to thank Vevor for sending us the furnace and letting us test it out. This is what we ended up with. Pretty cool. I don't know what I'm going to use them for, but that might be another video. I'm also going to put some links below where you can purchase this furnace, and I'm going to put some links to some other videos that I found very helpful. If you like this video, you might want to check this one out next.